Hello and welcome back to another video. Today you may remember that I done a video a couple of months ago of a day on our Irish Suckler farm. So today's video is basically the same thing, but it's like a summer edition. So it's a day on our Irish Suckler farm, but in the summertime, what we get up to in the summer. So like roll and top and silage and all of that. So we'll get into it. First things first, every now and then on our farm we get a couple of cats, wild cats, coming onto our farm, and so we just feed them. Some of them then just go away and leave us, others stay, and they kind of get used to us and our team, and we can be around them then and they don't run away. So now this time we have another wild cat that came onto the farm. So what we're doing is feeding this cat some cat food. Hopefully the cat will stay, and the cats then sort of roam around our house and the farm and clear sheds and buildings and areas from like mice and rats and other animals that they like to, I don't know, attack. So this is the cat food we're giving them, with lamb in jelly. With this one has a load of different flavours. So the can we opened has lamb and jelly. So I'll put the camera down somewhere and I'll scoop a small bit of this food into that, and hopefully the cat will eat it. There's the cat food. I know it doesn't seem to be a lot, but I don't want to give the cat too much. We give the cat basically a spoonful in the morning, maybe a small bit again during the day if we have time, and then another bit then in the evening. But if we give the cat too much food, the cat mightn't eat it, and then there'll be a load of flies landing on it and all that, and it'll just sort of dry out. Don't know if the camera's picking it up, but it has like jelly in it. As the thing said, it was lamb and jelly or something. So we don't want it to dry out because it probably isn't nice. So we only give the cat a small bit throughout the day. We'll give them like 3 times a day. So I'll probably come back after my next job, however length of time it takes, and then we'll probably see that emptied. You can also see on the packet, these are the 3 or 4 different cans of stuff that's in it. So you have with chicken in jelly, there's 3 cans of that. With ocean fish in jelly, there's 3 cans of that. With beef in jelly, there's 3 cans of that. And with lamb in jelly, there's also 3 cans of that in that whole sort of crate of cat food. And this is just where we store them at the moment until we can bring them up to our recycling bin at the back of our house. But you can see there's only a small bit there. We can cover that up. So I'll go off now and do the next job. I'll come back however length of time it takes, and we'll have a check on that. And maybe if I have time, I might get a clip of the cat eating this food. I haven't actually seen the cat yet, but we do have one cat already on the farm. We've had the cat about 6 or 7 years. So we had several cats throughout the years on the farm. So you know, it's nice to try and keep at least 1 or 2 cats on the farm, just to get rid of all the rodents that are around the place, and try and keep the farm sort of free from rodents. That's why we like to keep cats as well, and the grandmother likes cats. So now off to do the next job. The next job to do is to do a bit of topping over at the uncle's place. So this field, he had a pony left in it, and well, the horse, pony, whatever. This horse then sort of grazed the grass very low. It's literally as smooth as this bit of tarmac here on the yard, But anyways, this horse grazed basically like sheep, grazed the grass very low, right down to its butt, right down to the clay. And all that's left now is a bit of an odd scattered of rushes and some cop oaks, and he wants them trimmed down. So I'm going to go with the topper and cut them. When I get over there, I'll show you the field and explain more. This is the field. You can see that there's a couple of cop oaks and stuff there. And as you can clearly see, if the camera is picking it up right, that the grass, it's basically down to its butt. It's also very bumpy, so probably high first, possibly even low fourth or low third, because I'm going to be rattled inside that yoke. But there's some long grass here where the horse made his toilet duties, because the horses are very particular. They pick a corner of a field, and that's basically their toilet, and that's where they do their number twos and stuff, unlike cows who just their toilet is the whole field, which in another case that's good and bad, because the cows sort of fertilise the whole field while the horse only fertilises a certain section of the field. You can see over there there's more stuff, and then there's a small bit of rushes around here. There's also more around the corner and up there, which I'll show you now. This is a bad spot here, and there's rushes and leafy oaks down there, which if I can get down, good and well, because there's sort of a hill here. So I don't want to be driving on the side of the hill in fear that the tractor will topple over, but with the topper on the ground it mightn't. We don't know yet, but it's probably best to be working up and down, well preferably probably up the hill, because if I start going down it, the tractor would only start speeding up, and just there is a river. So, and then there's a pile of briars here, but I might, when I'm topping the whole field, I might just surpass them for now, and then at the end I might just set the topper down, turn it on, back in, drive forward, and then back in, drive forward, back in, drive forward, because I don't know what's in there. This is also on the hill, so it's best to be safe and do it the safest way possible. But and the same here, that's definitely on a hill, because you can see it sort of slopes down the wards. So I'll do this section first, and then I'll do that section. Once I have the whole field topped, I'll see what I can do about these. So I'm going to get started, and then once I do a few rings, I'll set up the camera and we'll get a bit of footage. that section done, nice and clean looking. I'm going to do that hilly bit last. There's that bit to do. I'm getting ready to do that now, but I also forgot this section in here, which also needs to be done. Just a load of coppogues and briars and thistles and all that I'll cut and just tidy it up for the uncle. So and it's the same down here, it's just thistles and those long leafy grassy yokes that need to be cut down. But I don't know if I'll be able to get over there because I have to cross the river, and it's a steep hill down and then another steep hill up, and there's the horse. But yeah, anyways, I'll focus on doing this, doing that, and then tidying up the top of the hill if I can. Right, that's that field done, and that's this field looking cleaner and chopped. And I also, the briars and all the other crap that was basically in a big clog right here, I done my best to tidy it up. There's a lot of stones there. You can see them there, you can see another one there, and there's more hidden in there, so I kind of had to lift the topper a small bit, so I'm not clipping any of the stones, but keep it low enough that I'm actually trimming enough of it to make it look as neat as possible, and it looks way neater than what it was. Now that that's done, we have to head back to the yard. Another job that does be done in spring on nearly any farm around the country is silage. So the brother is over there with our ex-contractor's kit. He's gotten this contract because this is a section of grazing field that got too long for grazing. Half of it was perfect and we grazed it. The other half got too long for grazing, so the brother is now mowing it. And I think this evening we're going baling it because he's also very busy with other silage and business. So we are mowing it now this morning, and it's going to be on the ground, lying on the ground for about a couple of hours until this evening time around 5, 6 or 7 o'clock, and we'll be baling it and bringing it up to the yard. So I get a few clips of the mowing, hopefully I get a few clips of the baling as well, and yeah. So I got a few clips. This video is probably going to be long, so I don't want to overwhelm you with a long clip of the mowing, and the baling probably be more interesting, so we'll get more clips in the baling. But he's still mowing, he's getting on fairly well. He has the outer rings done and he's doing the up and downs. There's a fair crop in it, whether the camera is picking it up, but there's a nice little crop in it. So there'll be a couple of bales. There'll be a nice few bales in it. You can see the butt there was starting to go yellow in it, which is not a very good sign. And there's water lying on the bottom of that. But whether we waffle it or not, maybe once or twice before we bale it this evening, I don't know. But there's a bit of water on that. But when we done our actual silage field itself, there was a lot of water on that. So this should be okay. It's not a long distance to draw to the farm. The farm's actually just over there, so we don't even have to go onto a road. But anyways, the next time you'll see me or hear from me is when we're baling this evening. And we are baling. He has the first outside sward nearly done. As you can see there's the 398 and the windrower. I went and I windrowed these swarts. I put two swarts into, I made two swarts into one swart with the 398 and the windrower there. And the brother is off baling. bit of plastic must have broke there. So whether or not the camera is picking it up, there's fairly nice swarts in there in some patches. There's some sort of smaller ones elsewhere, but other than that, it's a pretty good crop for a field that, for half of a grazing field that got that half of it got too long for grazing. So it's not too bad of a crop. We'll see how many bales we get off it, and I think I'll set up the camera now and get a few clips of the baling. He has the three outer rings done, the outer swarts, the three rings around the perimeter of the field, and he's now just about to start the ups and downs. So already there's a nice few bales just on the three rings itself. You can see there's three there, that's 6, 3 there, that's 9, 2 there, and there's 1 there. That's 12 bales already by just doing the 3 rings, the outer swarts. So I'm expecting a nice couple of bales in this field, which is a good surprise. The field is baled, the silage is brought back to the yard, and as you may have seen, the slurry is already on it. And slurry is another job that's we do here on our farm anyways, at least during the summer. So when we in either June or July or even August, whenever we actually get our silage baled, we do mix the tanks, and we do then spread out the slurry. So whenever we cut the silage, maybe a week later, we then spread the slurry on it, which is not going to be included in this video. Like, there's other jobs as well that I haven't included in this video because we've just been so busy with other stuff. But that is slightly going off track, maybe, who knows. So the field is baled. We've the bales here in the actual field, because the farm is fairly full with bales. As I mentioned, there was a couple of grazing fields that half of it got beyond grazing, so we had to bale them. So one of those fields had, I think, 40-ish bales, and that's been dumped on the yard with the 30-ish bales from last year and the 150 bales that we got off our actual silage field. And off this field here, which I thought would be slightly more, there was only 22 bales on that field. And I'm just after counting them. The 22 bales that came off that field, that's the 22 here. They're on their flat ends. We used to put the bales on their flat ends a couple of years ago, and then we just decided to leave them down on their round ends, because all we had to do was back in, lower down the bale handler and pull out, rather than back in, try and judge where the bale is going to go, tip it up, and then away you go. It's just way quicker just to leave them down on the round ends. Some people say you're not supposed to. Other people say, a lot of people say different things. So yeah. So during the winter, when the cattle are housed and we're feeding them, we'll probably use these first. Or I don't know, it depends really, because it's in the field, and I know it's not too far away from the farmyard itself. But during the winter, in this general location where I live and work on the farm, the fields in the wintertime can get very, very soft. So we'll either use them first, but the fields might be gone soft at that stage, or come maybe February or March, although the cattle now would have to be housed a bit later, because we have them bulled later. We had problems with them, but that's for another day, that. So most of our cows, we would have them calving November, December, January and February. This year they're not going to be calving until March and April, so they're going to be housed maybe that little bit later. But you know, we need all the bales we can get. These might be the last ones used, because the field might be drier at that time rather than in November and December, but who knows, we'll see. But that is definitely going off track in what this video is about. I believe off the 2 grazing fields we got 61 bales in total, so there's 22 bales there, and you can do the maths yourselves, because I can't do that higher sums without a calculator. But yes, as I have mentioned, once we get the usually it's only our one silage field, it's 10 acres, and that's what we bale, and we only do one cut off that every year. But because in this situation we had a couple of grazing fields that got beyond grazing, we decided to bale them. And when we bale our silage fields, we get right on to agitating, mixing the slurry, and then we spread it out on. We spread most of it out on our silage field, and then any other grazing field that is ate down very well, very low to the ground, we might spread some on that as well, if there's any left over. So usually there is, but a lot of the slurry out of our 2 tanks go on to our 10-acre main silage field. So agitating and slurry is another job that we do around summertime after we bale, that isn't included in this video. Another one will be rolling the fields. So every time the cattle are in a field and well, from last year, say they're in a field, we bring them back into that to the slatted house during the winter, and then come the following year during maybe May or whatever, before they're let out, we go out into every field and roll it, just so that they don't create more, just to sort of level it out and cover up any hooves that they imprinted into the ground from the last time they were out, if you know what I mean. Rolling is another job that we do in the summer that isn't included in this video, which if it was included it'd be a very long video, but you know, doesn't really, I guess it doesn't really matter how long a video is, but I just thought, well, the situation with our roller is the old man, this is years ago, but the old man and his brother-in-law, he'd be, they came together and they joint bought a bit, yeah, the two of them bought the baler, the one baler, so they joint, J-O-I-N-T, joint, you know. The joint bought the baler, so they're sharing the baler, and we have it on our farm, and then he might put it up on a trailer and bring it to his farm, and then we'll have to bring it back, which isn't ideal. It's a lot of messing about that way. I'd prefer to have my own roller and leave it on the farm and use it whenever I want, without having to be calling the brother-in-law and saying, look, you finished with the roller and all this. But it is what it is, and as I've said many a time, we have to make do with what we have. And the brother-in-law, I don't think he rolled at all last year, because he didn't take the roller last year. He took it a couple of months ago this year, but we haven't got it back. We didn't even ask for it, so I don't know. We'll probably start rolling again next year. So that's another video that probably would have been included in this video, but obviously we didn't have the roller, so I couldn't include it in this video. But if I did have the roller, I would have, because I would have been rolling as well. So technically I cheapskated out of this video, because the jobs that we do in the summer, all of those jobs actually aren't even included in this video. But I did do my best. I tried my best to fit in as much of the jobs that we do on our farm anyways during the summer months, but obviously we're busy with silage and topping and slurry and stuff, and we didn't have the roller. So just now, that while we're here and while we were talking about bales and stuff, there's bales back here. You might see them with the paint on it. These bales here are the 30 odd bales, give or take, the ones with the marks. These are the 30 bales from last year, so they're last year's bales. So then from going straight down that way, the whole way down to the end there, in line with these bales. So from here, in there, behind those two, going the whole way down there is 150 bales, and then these two front lines here and the two ones that are stacked above are the bales we got off the other field that got too long for grazing. So we have a nice couple of bales. If you want to do the math there, you can. 61 bales in total, 21 bales off the field down there, whatever is there, 150 bales from our actual silage field, and about 30 bales from last year. Now that's cleared, we'll just I'll quickly sum up the video very quickly for you. So the jobs that we do on our farm that were included in this video and that weren't included in this video that should have been but just wasn't able is topping, rolling, silage, agitating slurry, and spreading slurry. So you could put the two slurry ones just into one category, which is slurry. But yeah, those are the jobs that we do on our farm in the summertime, summer August time, you know. Some people count August as summer, I don't know, but yeah. The slurry now isn't going to be included in it, unfortunately, but there will be slurry videos out on the channel, so you know. But yeah, that is going to be the end of today's video. If you liked it, please give me a like. If you're not subscribed, please do subscribe and turn the bell notification on to be notified of every future video I upload. Don't forget to check out my merch and the gate mate. The links to them will be in the description. That is it for me. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video very soon. Take care.